Have you ever wondered what would happen if you stopped spending on things that don't really move your life forward and instead invested that money? Well, I tested it. For 60 days, I gave up just 3 common expenses. Not my rent, not groceries, just the things that most of us spend on without thinking twice. And instead of pocketing that money, I funneled it straight into investments, real ones. No get-rich-quick schemes, no meme coin, no trendy courses promising millions. Just simple, smart investing. And let me tell you right now, the results were way more powerful than I expected. Why I started this challenge. Like most people, I kept saying, I'll invest when I have more money. I'll start next month. It's not a priority right now. But then I asked myself, what if I already had the money, I just wasn't using it right? So I opened up my bank statement and took a hard look. And boom, there it was. Dozens of transactions that added up to hundreds of dollars, all on stuff I didn't need and honestly didn't even remember buying. So I created a 60-day experiment. I chose 3 things I'd cut out completely. Not forever. Just for 2 months. Then I'd take every dollar I saved and invest it. The 3 expenses I cut. 1. Daily coffee runs. Yep, the classic one. I was spending 4 to 6 a day at cafes. That's $121 to $80 per month. I still drank coffee, just made it at home with a $25 French press and local beans. Total saved in 60 days? $260. 2. Food delivery apps. I was ordering Uber Eats and DoorDash 2-3 times a week. Not out of luxury, just convenience. Average spend, $20 per order. Savings over 60 days by cooking at home? $320. 3. Streaming subscriptions I didn't use. I had Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and Spotify Premium, yet I barely watched anything. So I paused all of them. And yes, I survived. Saved around $80 in 2 months. Total saved in 60 days, $660, where I invested the money. I didn't throw it into some next big thing. I went for simple and proven. Here's my exact breakdown: $300 into an S&P 500 index fund, a low-cost fund that tracks the top 500 U.S. companies. Historically returns 7–10% per year. $200 into a high-yield savings account for short-term security and growth. It earns around 4 to 5% APY in 2025. $100 into fractional shares of dividend stocks. Stocks that pay you just for owning them. I picked companies with a strong 5+ year dividend history. $60 into a crypto ETF. A tiny experiment. Low risk, but enough to test the waters. What actually changed beyond the numbers? Sure, the money grew, but the real change, that was internal. I went from I can't afford to invest to I choose to invest. Here's what shifted. I became way more mindful of every dollar I spent. I appreciated the things I kept even more. I stopped associating investing with wealth and started associating it with priorities. I realized I don't have to give up joy, I just have to give up mindless spending. 60 days later, the results. That initial $660? It grew to $678.40 in 2 months. Now that's not going to change my life overnight. But here's the catch. This wasn't about 2 months. It was about what happens if I keep doing this. If I repeat this every 60 days for a year, that's around $4,000 invested. And if that grows even modestly, 7 to 10% a year, that's serious momentum. Compound that over 5–10 years? Game-changing. Final thoughts. Let me tell you this. You don't need to earn more to start investing. You need to spend differently. What shocked me most wasn't how much money I saved. It was how easy it became after just 2 weeks. Giving up these 3 things didn't feel like sacrifice. It felt like strategy. So here's your challenge. For the next 30 to 60 days, pick 2–3 expenses you can pause, even small ones. Track every dollar. And instead of letting it sit or disappear, invest it. You don't have to be rich to start investing. But you do have to start. Because waiting until someday is the most expensive thing you can do. Comment below.